Hi, I'm Phoenix, and today I'm going to be ranking Demon Slayer characters by their looks because I'm shallow and thirsty. Let's begin. Of course, before we do that though, make sure you grab your cup because it's time to spill the anime tea. So just like I said, I'm going to be ranking these characters by attractiveness, so that means how good they look, how attracted I am to them, all the good stuff. But also, I wanted to break down how their character designs and how they were built affect how much we end up liking the character. And then, of course, I'm mostly going to be like just blessing over the Hashiras for the last half of the video, so stick around for that. But we're going to start off with Tanjiro, of course, best boy, best soft boy. He is so cute with his little round face. He has that look of a really adorable main character who is sweet and caring. He's a big brother, so really round eyes, round head. Everything about him is kind of a circle. Even in the way his hair flows is more circular. Despite his hair color being red, which is usually more passionate, he is very passionate. So there's a hint of that in there. But the darkness of it also just reminds you how grounded of a person he actually is. I think his character design is pretty good. Add on top of that his checkered haori, which is like just really eye-catching. Just the green on black. He's a decent character. I'm gonna give him an A. It's nice to look at. He's cute. What else do you want? Next up is his little sister, the Emoto, the demon Emoto, Nezuko. Nezuko is also very round in her features because she's supposed to be, sweet, innocent little sister, but also at the same time, she is a demon. The only sharp things about her that kind of make her seem more evil or menacing is just that her nails are sharp and then her hair is like kind of locked out and not straight. That makes it seem unnatural. I think that was the point of that, but I think it's cute. I like her hair. I'm gonna be basic and give her an A. Zenitsu, best lightning boy, Zenitsu. Again, most of these main characters have mostly round features because characters that are more approachable tend to have rounder features so that they can be likable. They're more innocent. So Zenitsu is kind of like that, but the crisscrossness of like his hair design and how each part kind of sticks out does accentuate like his extraness, like the fact that he has no chill and that he's always super loud and extroverted. So I love that about him. I love his super blonde hair and how it matches his haori with the triangles and the sharp angular features of his design that aren't super sharp. They're more like dulled down, but kind of represent like the lightning effect of his personality and of his breathing style. So I'm gonna give him an A as well. Okay, most of these characters are probably gonna get A. Okay, I'm redacting what I'm saying. Tanjiro is very simple looking. He doesn't stand out as much as the other characters next to him. So for that, I'm going to give him a B. Inosuke also is a very eccentric, amazing character, especially amazing character design because he has a boar mask. And I think this is really important to note because when people think of the anime that has a kid with a freaking pig mask on, they're going to think of Demon Slayer. So if you can make a character that memorable without even having to know what the name of the show is, I think should be like S tier. Like that's on top of that. If the creator, if Kotoyugi sensei just decided not to have Inosuke wear a boar mask and just had to like his pretty face, it wouldn't have been the same. It would have just been another pretty face in a sea of pretty faces on this list. But because of the boar mask specifically, he is very memorable. That coupled with his crazy personality and his childlike demeanor and how everything kind of like amazes him. And the fact that the boar mask it's kind of scary, but not unsettling. And it actually is really funny in certain moments. Like they can make the boar mask have expressions, which is weird because it's a mask. So it shouldn't have expressions, but it does. And it makes everything he does like that much more funny. Moving down to Kanao, who's not a main character, but I put her on this list because she's in the same age group as these other characters. Kanao is very sweet and demure and like she doesn't have much of a facial expression because she was, abused as a child. So she kind of lost all sense of herself. And you can see that in like her very opaque, glassy eyes that like nothing seems to get through, which work well for her because in the moment when she like is showing emotion, you can see like her eyes kind of change and they get more human-like and less foggy. So for that, it's adorable. I love her bangs. Again, the roundness, the sweetness of her face. Everything's very stable and simple. So I'll give her a B. I think her and Tanjiro are around the same. I'm going to talk about Genya and his crazy scar and his really intense eyes. When you look at Genya, the first thing you think of is intense because everything about his face is intense. His eyes are like more slanted upwards and in an angle compared to literally all the other characters that I've already ranked. Their eyes are all circular. He has one little dot, so it's like a piercing gaze. His hair is like kind of crazy. It's like half shaved, half just like swept to the side and like around. He has kind of like this mullet thing going on. He's just an eccentric, intense character, and you can tell that from the moment you look at him. Also, his face is a lot more angled and like tense. Okay, I'm giving Genya a B because even though he's really easy to read, there's nothing really else spectacular about him. And in the anime at least too, we haven't seen that much of him, so I'm gonna leave him as a B for now. Sabito's not technically a main character, but he was there in the beginning, and I thought we should talk about his look because look at his little sweet smile. Isn't he adorable? The round eyes, the soft gaze. Even though he has a scar similar to Genya's, his scar, like the way it fits on his round face is a lot softer looking than Genya's like really straightforward, like kind of cutting scar that kind of separates parts of his face. So he is a lot more sweet and calm. I give him a B as well. There's lots of characters that are going to be B. I just realized I don't know if there's going to be any characters lower than D on this list, or even C. Let's do Mokomo. Mokomo also came along with Sabito. Really cute. Again, she just has soft, cute features. But other than that, I didn't find anything that interesting about her. She just has the soft round features of all the other characters that have soft round features. So I will give her a C. It doesn't mean she's a bad character. We're talking solely about character design. Let's talk about Muzan Kibutsuji. We're moving on to the demon section now. I have a couple demons on here that I might thirst after, but of course, first and foremost is Muzan Jax. You know, our main demon guy, our main antagonist for the series. There's so many looks for Muzan that I don't want to judge him solely on his Michael Jackson look. I also want to judge him on like the femme Muzan look when he's dressed up in the kimono with the ponytail, because that was also a look. He looks great and everything. Oh, I can't give anything away, but I'm also in this part of the manga where he looks totally different from these versions of him that I just showed. Muzan is a little off-putting, and most of the demons on this list are a little off-putting because he looks very human in a lot of his disguises. But the thing that's unsettling about him, specifically for this in the character design, is the color of his eyes, which are like a bloodshot red. Whereas every other color of everyone else's eyes, like every human person's eyes, tend to be like more reserved, simplified colors. Like Zenitsu's eyes are like brownish yellow. Inosuke's eyes are blackish blue. But Muzan's eyes are straight up just red. Kind of similar to Nezuko's eyes too, because she's also a demon. Her eyes are straight up like pink. So each demon has like straight full-colored irises compared to the human characters, which have a mixture of black and other subtle colors. So Muzan is unsettling, but he's not super scary. He's great to look at though. So I will at least give him an A for that. Maybe later on down the line, I'll do another one of these when we get further into the story and we see more of Muzan in his different shapes and forms. And then I'll come back and judge him again. But even for Femme Muzan, I'm going to put him as an A. Mugen Train. So Enmu is the demon from Mugen Train. He also showed up at the last episode of Demon Slayer Season 1. He is a super cool character. I personally do not like him. Like, I am not attracted to him in any sort of way. However, the character design for him is really cool because his personality is unsettling, and everything about his character design is unsettling. He has this asymmetric bob going on that just feels like off-putting and unbalanced. Plus, he has these like, he's wearing like a suit kind of on top with these like striped clown pants at the bottom, which just don't match. There's just various different things about him that feel messed up and like tilted, and that is exactly how his character is in the movie and in this first part of Demon Slayer Season 2. He is just a messed up, scary person who simps after Muzan and is just doing the most. Let's talk about Akaza. Akaza is another demon that I hate because he did something unforgivable. If you've seen Demon Train, you know what I'm talking about. But again, he is a character, he's a demon, so he has these bright irises that are bright yellow and just feel very unnatural. That matching with his pink hair. The thing that's weird about Akaza is that he has super symmetrical features. Like, he has a more rounder face with like a kind of sharper point at the bottom. So it feels a little sinister because sharp points in character design usually insinuate evilness or like bad things. He has these circle things going on that make him seem more stable and balanced. But that could also insinuate strength, like when symmetry, like hard symmetry that you can clearly see, that can insinuate that he's really strong. I'm giving him an S because 1, he's very attractive, and 2, is scary but also really cool to look at and has a very attractive character design that will instantly draw you in. Like, if it's not the eyes that draw you in, then it's going to be the circles, and if it's not the circles, it's going to be his hair, and if it's not the hair, it's the body. Let's talk about Rui, who played a major part in Demon Slayer Season 1. He's kind of has this arachnid spider-like personality and character design, so everything about him kind of ends in a sharp point, almost like the ends of a spider's legs. But he's also a child, so he has a really round, soft face, but with harsh eyes. Like, his eyes are really slanted and kind of pointed. Okay, I'm gonna put him as a B for now. His thing was supposed to be spiders, but the only thing about him that felt like a spider was his hair and the fact that he has webs. Let's talk about Lady Tamayo. She's just simply really pretty. She has nothing really amazing about her. She's a demon that surprisingly has really human-like eyes, and that's probably because she's trying to be more human than demon, so they're probably trying to show her as more of a human. So she's just like a simple beauty. Ushiro is cool. I like him. He very much gives me Megane vibes. Like, he needs to have glasses. Like, I'm gonna Photoshop some glasses on him because he is very much a character that abides by rules and is just a total simp for Tamayo and just has to do everything his way. His like sharp features kind of insinuate that he is more straightforward about how he feels. That coupled with his always lowered eyebrows and thin eyes. Okay, let's talk about the demon, the Tamari girl, who was from the same arc as Tamayo and Ushiro when we first met them in Demon Slayer Season 1. I wanted to put her on here. I didn't put the other demon on here because I didn't care, but her design was really cool. I liked her black to red hair design. She also had a round kind of childlike face, which went with her design because she used Tamari balls. Tamari balls were children's toys back in this period, and she's more of childlike. Like, she was kind of playing with the characters as she was trying to murder them. I love that they added that childlike innocence to her face, even though it's kind of creepy because of her smile and the fact that she's a demon. I will give her a B. Drummer Boy demon, I mean, he's just a big buff demon. Like, if you thought of a demon, the first thing you think of is this dude. But of course he just has drums, so I feel like it's simple. I'm just gonna give him C. It's just basic. Just a ripped demon dude with drums on him. It's not that amazing. Maybe I'll give him a D because, I don't know. Before I continue on to the Hashiras, which is my favorite part, we're going to definitely dive into those. Make sure you like this video if you're enjoying it so far, and I will try to make more of them if you guys do, or if not, I will not make any more, but we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about Gyu, the goat Yu. My favorite. I love him so much. In terms of character design, we'll address that first. Very simple. Super round face, so we're automatically like him because he seems like a likable character. He's more symmetrical, but his hair is kind of asymmetrical. And then of course he has these really sharp blue eyes that draw us in and make us want to know what's going on in his brain, even though he doesn't want to tell us. As a character, just as he looks, it's very simple, very simplistic. It's pretty, but simple. Even though I love Gyu, Gyu's great. He deserves at least a B. He's just a basic pretty boy. And that is all. Shinobu also is beautiful, the simple beauty with her beautiful purple eyes. I'm also going to give her a B because she's just a simple. Her raised eyebrows and her round eyes give away that she's kind of elusive and hiding something, but it's kind of playing it off. She kind of has that kind of personality. You can tell by just the look in her eyes that she's different than how you originally perceive her, and I like that. Next up is the best of the best of the best boys, Rengoku. Kyojuro Rengoku. He deserves S automatically. I'm just gonna let y'all know he is S. And it's for multiple reasons. Number one, he's just best boy. If you've seen Mugen Train, if you haven't seen Mugen Train, he's great. You can take apart Rengoku's character design and break it up and see just all different aspects of what type of person he is. Again, if someone looks at him who knows nothing about anime, knows nothing about Demon Slayer, they're gonna think this person is must be really fiery, eccentric and extra, and that is exactly how he is. From his fiery red hair, his fiery cape, his like crazy huge eyebrows that like branch off, his sharp eyes, his like double layered irises that none of the other characters have, I think. No, well, Tanjiro kind of has double layered irises where it's like a lighter layer and then a darker layer and then a darker pupil in the middle. He's super symmetrical. Everything about him is symmetrical. Everything matches on either side of his face, coat, of his clothes. And he's just, a fire. Like, you see him and you think fire. I think I'm going to make another layer for him and just put him. Rengoku is his own tier because Rengoku is Rengoku. And that is that. Next up is Uzui. A lot of people don't know about Uzui yet if you're only watching the anime, but Uzui is my favorite. He's so great. He's so beautiful. Look at his fabulous. He's just fabulous. Like, cares about how he looks, like, to the T. Everything about him is perfected and also super stylized. Plus, he's just look at the picture. Just look at him. He's Uzui. And I can't wait for the next part of season 2 when people actually get to see, like, his arc, because he's going to kind of be the head of the next arc. I can't wait for everyone to list after him with me. Anyway, he deserves S because, again, I feel like he's one of those characters when you look at him and you see that, like, crazy thing on his eye and everything's bedazzled, but he's also super buff. You're going to be like, who the heck is that character? I need to know who he is automatically. Amazing. Jeweled down, dressed down. A king. I love him so much. Anyway, let's go on to Mitsuri. Mitsuri also deserves S tier because she is super memorable. Her hair design, her hair color, her design itself matches her personality perfectly. It's like the bubbliness of her 2 pigtail braids mixed with the like neon colors of her bangs and her eyes. Lets us know that something crazy is going on with her, but she's also really cute and you can't get over that. Next up is Hanajima. Hanajima is cool. Like, I like that he's just like this stoic character that kind of looks like a god. He doesn't have any pupils unlike any other characters on this list, and he's always crying. So other than that, I have nothing else to say about Hanajima. I guess I'll give him a C. Tokito is super cute. He's 14 years old and he's the youngest Hashira, I think, on the list. You can tell by like the cloudy look in his eyes that he's always kind of out in the distance and not paying attention, which is, the purpose of it. That's his personality. But again, he's just simple. I don't know. There's something about him that just doesn't stand out compared to some of the other Hashiras and the other demon designs on this list. Okay. Next up is Ikuro, the serpent Hashira, and he's very creepy. Like, I don't like him. He's almost like a demon because he has really bright irises, similar to how the demons have like really bright single color irises, but he has heterochromia, so he has 2 different colored eyes, yellow and green. And he's just an off-putting character. He has stripes, he has this like scarf thing that covers his mouth, he has snakes around him all the time, and that makes him very off-putting. But since he is more off-putting, he's more memorable, and that makes it for a good character design. I'm going to put him at B, because it's going to be partially because I don't really like his character design. It's just like too much for a character that's supposed to be good. He feels more like a demon because he's so unsettling to look at. Sanemi needs to be stomped. If my personal feelings were involved in this, I would put him as an F because he needs to be stomped because he hurt Nezuko and he doesn't deserve good things. But in terms of character design, has this sharp look about him. Everything about him is extra, like, wide. He really looks like he needs some eye drops, and I really want to put some eye drops in his eyes and just, like, relieve his eyes. It looks like someone put tape on, like, his eyes to keep them open, and then they just stay like that for the rest of his life. Again, he's very unsettling, kind of similar to Iguro, but in a totally different way, more like a stormy type of way, which makes sense because he is the Wind Hashira. So I'm going to give him a B. Lots of B's on this list. Let's talk about Kagaya, the master of the Hashiras, master of the Demon Slayer headquarters. He is really cool because he has, like, the whole illness thing going on where half his face is, like, purple. And it should be unsettling, but it's actually very calming to look at him. I don't know why. I think it's because of, like, the mixture of, like, the light purple with the silver eyes. That just makes it really cool. Plus, he's very symmetrical, like his hairstyle and his face is very symmetrical and everything about him is round and soft. And his eyes are always kind of like peering very gently at other people. With really cool, the fact that they like could draw like his illness in the way it looks like on his face is really cool. I'll give him an A. So yeah, this is my final list. There was no E or Fs because I chose characters that I really liked and I really thought deserved to be ranked. Rengoku is in his own tier, of course. Let me know what you think of this ranking. How would you rank these characters? Do you think that their character designs are good? Do you think they're attractive? How would you rank them? Let me know in the comments below. Basically, the main moral of this video is that anime characters are the only ones who can be solely judged on their looks because they are literally designed so that when you look at them, you can understand their personality. If you need a quick recap of Demon Slayer Season 1 as you prepare yourself for watching Demon Slayer Season 2, or the rest of it that is, make sure you go watch this video next. I worked really hard on it. It's pretty funny actually. Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you had a good time. See you next one. Bye!